Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
What's up, y'all?
What that dilly, yo?
What the deal? Welcome to another episode of Sipping on Excellence.
I'm a little exhausted already.
I mean,
Going live right before we record. It's like
damn near did two podcasts. But it's good because people came up with some really good ideas, some really good conversations for us to have. As we go forward, we already have this one planned for today, which I think is gonna be a banger. I'm putting it out there now, y'all. Coming on Wednesday, it's gonna be a banger. Y'all gonna listen to this one. If it's not, pretend it is. What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
But yeah, welcome to another episode of Sipping on Excellence, y'all, where we talk about any and everything, from relationships to friendships to success to anger to you name it. We talk about it all.
Yeah, we talk about it.
Why is he so angry today? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, we talk.
What's wrong with him?
I mean, we just try to help you.
He's just in a mood. Why is he yelling? He's so angry today.
This is an angry week, bro.
Why are you so angry?
I don't know.
Man.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's been a heavy week, dude. I don't even know how to even.
Yeah, exactly.
And the world knows what we're talking about. It's just been. We keep having these same conversations, man. But other than that, before we get into that bullshit, how was your week, man?
My week was good. Yeah, my week was good. It was, it was work. You put it in the work, you get the work, you get the reward.
What y'all don't realize too is Kenny's been going live every day at noon.
Yeah, putting in the work.
Putting in work. Catch him because he's dropping some Kenny-isms is what we like to call him. and the reason why we say that, because he comes off the dome with this random shit and you're just like, damn, that's actually kind of cool.
You know what's been great about the whole going live every day is what I find is when I'm creating posts or thoughts, I go so many different directions. When I go live, it's like I'll have a thought and then all of a sudden it's like either I expound on just that thought or I'll just go completely off the rails and go somewhere else because of just one moment I had conversation I had with a client or an engagement with somebody in the store. And it was like, you know what?
Any thought that sparks a conversation. And I love the fact that you're taking it to that conversation to everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's just, I was fortunate enough to jump on his live randomly this week.
That was good.
And it was one of those things. I was sitting there and I looked up and I was like, oh shit, he's live. Let me just pop in to see if he's actually going to let me pop in.
Yeah. I was perfect. It's an opportunity to talk about us.
Conversations, man.
Yeah. And the idea, it was how appropriate was it that I was literally talking about teamwork?
Yeah.
And then you popped up, you watched it, and then we talked about your teamwork. But really, it's our teamwork.
Yeah.
Of how we put this together.
And I had no idea what he was talking about that day. I just happened to was like, oh, let me just pop it. I'm sitting here looking at IG. I'm like, oh, shit, Kenny's live.
Yeah.
Let me click in and at least support. And I was like, wait a minute. Can I interrupt his live? Let me see if I could just force my way in the front door.
First you gave me the bird.
Right.
Then you decided to jump in.
It was delayed. That's the one thing I've noticed about IG Live. It's delayed.
Yeah.
But we're learning. We're actually learning all these platforms. And I think it's head spinning because this is not our job.
Right.
This is our hobby that just has happened to turn into something kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, earlier today we were talking about my week and it just being busy, and I woke up today to go train with this cat and it's hard to get moving. Early in the morning, it's cold outside. I was like, damn, why can't I get moving? And some days it's tough. But those are the times when you need to actually do things.
Yeah. You were moving. You ever see what is it? Is it Zootopia? Where it was like it was an animation. It was about
I haven't seen it.
It was so there are two groups. There's like the I guess the predatory.
Okay.
And then there's, the
prey.
The prey. But they live like in different parts of the city. And
Okay.
they're separated. But there's a lion who's is the mayor, and it's crazy. But they go to the DMV. But the people at the DMV that run the DMV are sloths.
Why is that so much like real life?
Because that's the way you were moving today.
Dude.
It's like he was wide awake, and then he go, so
I couldn't get it together. I was trying.
what are we doing?
Yeah,
I was like, good God Almighty, this guy
it
is not moving.
It was rough. I'm out there in the hoodie. It was rough.
Oh, Chris had hoodie too, boy. I thought he probably got lacerations on his back. Right. This guy.
But needless to say, even though you don't feel like doing stuff, man, you got to.
You got one body, man.
Your life and your health depend on it. Man.
You got one body that you guarantee that you know you have. So.
And I preach this to my patients all the time. A body wants to be in motion, so just move.
Yeah.
And just move every day, however you can. Just move something. We all got little ailments.
Yeah.
We all don't feel like doing shit sometimes.
Yeah. And this guy right here got a lot of ailments.
But you got to move.
I have to.
Because if shit stiffens up, it doesn't get any better.
No.
I always tell people your muscles, joints, movement doesn't get better each day.
No.
Because each day you age, there's a little something that's taken from you. Just a little something. And so you gotta make up for it in other ways.
When you go to let's say you go to a gym, and the gym has that new flooring, and that new rubberized flooring, and rubber is oil.
Yeah.
And it doesn't crack. It's actually slick, supple. You can't even walk on it.
Right.
But all of a sudden it dries up. It dries up. It dries up. It starts to crack. It starts to unfold. Next thing you know, they start splitting completely apart. That's your body.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the perfect definition of the disc in your back.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
When you're in your 20s, it's like that supple rubber fuller. It's got cushion. It's got all of that. After a while, as you age, that shit dries up.
Oh, it's dry.
It's dry.
It doesn't exist.
Like desert dry.
It doesn't exist in mine.
And then so you got to make up for it in other ways. But it still wants to move. You just gotta coax it on a little more. But that being said, before we get deep into what we're gonna talk about today, let's talk about this cocktail I made.
Yeah, man, because this is about the high point as it goes down from here.
So
no, I'm just playing. Y'all.
So we made up this
depression.
We made up this cocktail on a whim. On Thursday, I was like, I want a cocktail. I had a friend came by to just hang out. My computer was crashing and stuff like that. So I was like, let's make a cocktail. And I made what we're calling SOE Smoke. And I'm guessing y'all are wondering what the base of this drink is. Y'all know it's tequila. This is me we talking about.
Duh.
Right? So what it is an ounce of tequila and 1/2 to 3/4 ounce of mezcal.
Okay. And what does that mezcal do?
Mezcal is it's that agave that brings the smoke.
Yes.
Shaken with agave syrup, poured over ice, topping it off with sparkling lemon lime juice. Not Sprite, not Squirt, not 7-Up, not Fanta. Sparkling lemon lime juice.
You got that bougie stuff.
Hey, you drinking it, and it tastes phenomenal.
It does.
Y'all, sip this one with us when you listen to this podcast, because it's a good one, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's get after it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Does a body good. So we want to talk about a couple of, like, the first, what's wrong with y'all? We're going to keep it lighthearted. So, state of America, the state of the world today, everything has become so sensitive to somebody somewhere. Whether it's men that are sensitive, women that are sensitive. Somebody's always, the transgender community, the LGBTQ plus AT. Forgive me for not knowing all the letters, but somebody's always offended by something. And if everyone is offended by something, then we're all just going to be walking around being offended at all times. And the reason why I say that is because now Aretha Franklin's song, Natural Woman, is under attack.
Yep.
And it's under attack because I believe the transgender community is saying that there's no such thing as a natural woman. And I think what's happening is people are looking at words and missing the meaning.
If anything, it would probably, especially for transgender women, it would probably represent them even more, because if you are in transition and you are changing yourself to become a woman,
you're starting to feel like a natural woman.
You're becoming
right
who you really feel like.
Right.
So why doesn't that not resonate with you?
And if Aretha Franklin is saying, you make me feel like a natural woman, you're saying, you're making me feel like I'm completely in my feminine. I'm completely feeling like the woman I should be. Not saying the word natural means birth woman. She didn't say that. She's just saying, you're making me feel feminine. You're making me feel like a natural woman.
And isn't she talking to her man?
Yes.
Okay.
And so to say that they want to cancel Aretha Franklin's song, and I mean, that's just...
And for a woman that's not even here to defend, to speak on, it's like, you know what? I have shit to do today. What can I attack? Let me get on my computer.
A song that's been around for 50 damn years or 30 years, however long it's been around.
Yeah, it's been, I think, the 60s, isn't it?
Who knows? But
whatever.
It's been around as long as I've been alive. But yet, people want to attack the words of the song now because somebody feels like they're being excluded when they say natural woman. I'm just not understanding.
Well,
or what if she said, you make me feel like a woman? Would that make anybody feel better? Or I just don't get it.
So concerned about feeling excluded. But when you do that, aren't you excluding yourself?
Yes.
You are saying, I am not capable of this mindset. I don't want to be a part of this, but I need attention somehow, some way, so I can be a part of.
But when you say, when you say, you make me feel like, I'm going to talk about this because I'm confused. You make me feel like a natural woman. So because you don't know what her mindset was when she's saying that, why can't you feel like, what does natural mean to you? And if you're a transgender woman, can't you feel like the natural woman that you are?
Yeah.
Why is it an affront against you because the song says, you make me feel like a natural woman?
In many ways, it should be your anthem.
You should be like, hell yeah, I'm a natural woman. I
This
feel
is
like a
how I
natural woman. I feel
right.
I'm in my feminine.
And also, let's just go back to the basics. It was her talking to her man.
Right.
It is her telling her man, this is how you make me feel. What is wrong with that? She's sharing expression, her
thoughts.
her feelings.
It's not transphobic.
With love.
It's not exclusionary.
Man,
it's not any of that.
That burns me.
People waste so much time worrying about semantics on everything. Like, for example, let's pull it away from the transgender community. You have woke America that were complaining about how they want to change the name of the master bedroom because they don't like the word master. Well, I'm sorry. It's my house. I'm the master of my house.
I'm the master of my domain.
I don't have slaves, but I am definitely the master of my house. And so the master bedroom is the main bedroom.
You know another word that's going to go down eventually?
What's up?
Kingdom.
I can believe that. Or why is it that a king-size bed is bigger than a queen-size bed? Is somebody going to attack that one day?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And then the king-size bed gets bigger, so it's the California king. There's the...
Yeah, but why is it a king versus a queen?
Right.
Why can't the queen bed be? Why can't the queen size bed be just as big as the king size bed? Because kings and queens are equal, right? I mean, I'm not being funny, but I can see it's getting so ridiculous that people are going to start attacking everything.
It's absolute semantics, and what's going to happen is I don't know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to get punched in the mouth.
Like how we were talking about today. How do you push the gas pedal in an electric car? Step on the gas. Can you say that if you drive a Tesla?
And it's
you still say it,
yeah, because it sounds better than accelerator.
It's too much of a mouthful.
I got one for you. That drives me crazy because everybody's trying to shorten up everything. Weight Watchers call themselves WW.
Instead of saying Weight Watchers, you know why?
Why?
You know why, right?
No.
Weight Watchers. This may not be a reason, but I've heard this.
Okay.
Is because they don't want to be known as fat shaming and talking about just weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's more health, but if you keep calling it Weight Watchers, then people are focused on the scale and the weight.
I can see that. Because let me tell you, WW
sounds like wrestling.
A lot of syllables,
yes.
Way more than Weight Watchers.
Mm-hmm. Man, I think we are in a time when being woke, being a feminist, being anything but who, just being anything. Being black, being white, being, with colorism in different parts of the world, darker skinned people in India don't, we talked about this, versus light skin. In the black community, paper brown bag test,
Yeah. Miami. Haitians versus the Dominicans
versus the Bahamians versus the Jamaicans. There's always going to be something out there that people are going to think I'm better than you because of this, or I'm being excluded for whatever reason.
Oh,
and at
100%.
At some point in time, everybody's going to feel they're excluded for something. And it's just, when are we going to get past that and just say, you know what? I'm going to live my life. I don't care if you accept how I live my life. I'm just going to live my life.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not negative towards me, we're cool. You mind your business, I mind mine. You're no better than me, I'm no better than you. But when it comes down to everybody having to walk on eggshells all the time because somebody's delicate sensibilities may get hurt for breathing the wrong direction, or because a lot of times I don't know what's going to offend you unless you tell me these are the things that offend you. The way that I cock my head to the left may offend somebody because they say it resembles getting slapped in the face. I don't know.
Do you think Bernie Mac, because we love comedians, how would he deal with these situations now? Because everything, he's basically tapped on everything, and it's not that far along. We're talking about less than 15, 20 years.
15, 20 years, yeah.
So as one of the best comedians ever,
what happened to the times of being able to make fun of everything and everybody, including yourself? And why is it such a big deal that if you can't laugh at yourself, then you're not living life. We all do dumb shit. We all do funny shit. We all have stereotypes about our ethnicities and everything that we laugh about because stereotypes come from somewhere. And we can all make jokes about it because we know it's part of real life. But unless you can joke about it and make light of it, you can't change it. And there's a lot that comes out in humorous situations because comedians will make you see just how ridiculous some of this shit is.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where Dave Chappelle was getting beat up in all of this because it was just...
It was funny because he was getting beat up, but he was getting awarded at the same time.
Yeah.
He was getting awarded. He got an Emmy.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, stop. Everybody is so sensitive about everything.
And you know what the sad part is? They're sensitive about something that they heard about, not sensitive about something they listened too.
Or if something was perpetrated against them specifically.
Like actually listening to Sticks and Stones. They didn't listen to Sticks and Stones. They just heard he said these things about the transgender community.
So here's another one for you, which I'm not going to go into great detail, but heard a story about somebody being offended. For example, you're wearing Nike, right? And if somebody, say your cousin or good friend was non-binary or transgender or part of the LGBTQ community, and somebody who worked for Nike or Nike said something once that was offensive to that community back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. What would you do if your friend was like, I don't ever want you wearing Nike again, and gets mad every time they see you in Nike?
What would I do?
Right? But think about it. But this is a real scenario that I'm talking to you with different people, different designers. Yes. But person was told, man, it's offensive when I see you wearing that. I'm sorry. Not knowing even what happened decades ago before these people were born. But just it's little things like that you're like you're grabbing you're grabbing onto things.
Yeah.
That why do you care what I'm wearing? Because if I'm wearing this, that means I'm not in support of you. No, it just means I like these damn shoes. It has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? If that were the case, you wouldn't be wearing the clothes you're wearing because child labor is what puts them together.
Right.
So if you really want to do something that means something,
do something.
Make your own clothes.
That. Yeah.
Make your own clothes
and do something towards that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because child labor is way worse than somebody saying something offensive.
I mean, it's like
if you want to go there,
it's like being an activist. Isn't it a level of action towards the embetterment versus suppression of what is not wanted?
There's more to being an activist than just talking about it.
Yeah.
It takes action.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. It's all action, but it's not just action to talk about what is going on, what we don't want. Isn't it action also to move towards what you want? Because you're moving away from to get towards something else, but you're so focused on getting away from versus what you're going towards.
And what's holding people back, and we're probably gonna get a lot of flack for this. What I think is holding everybody back is that all of us focus way too much on the stuff and things and the opportunities that they should have gotten, instead of pursuing opportunities that they can have. Don't think about what you didn't get. Think about what you're going to do next to get what you want.
Right.
You keep focusing on, well, I didn't get this, because I'm black, because I'm white, because, I'm being discriminated against because I'm a woman, I'm being discriminated against because I'm a man, I'm part of the LGBT, all these different things. We keep harping on the fact that I didn't get something because of. And instead of saying, I'm going to work harder because of.
Right.
I'm going to have to, I realized that I'm just going to have to do more. I'm going to have to be more. In words of Coach KJ, I'm going to have to be giant in order to be on the same level.
Version. Yeah. Yeah. Because guess what?
We know that.
That is already going to exist. It's going to happen. It already happened. It is where it is. So guess what? You got to move forward, or you're just going to be stuck on stupid.
And people will always say, it's easy for you to say being in the position you're in. Do you know what the fuck it took for me to get here? And so you have the same opportunities that everyone else has. You just have to work harder to get them.
Yes.
It's that simple. There's no law preventing you from excelling. People's opinions will try to hold you back, but they can't stop you. Yeah. If you want it bad enough, they can't stop you. So put aside what people are saying about you. Put aside always feeling offended. I get offended every day. You know what I do? I mean, every day I get offended. But you know what I do? I keep it pushing. I keep it moving. And the reason why is because if I sit and dwell on it, I'm not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just, and so
There's nothing wrong with addressing the negatives that have put you maybe in a situation that you're in.
no, that shit needs to be addressed.
But yeah, it needs to be addressed.
Exactly.
However, you should not live in the space of what those negatives are, because those negatives are not you.
Well, you're giving them power.
Yeah, exactly.
By living in that space, you're giving them power.
Yeah.
You know?
Power, energy, light, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And so that's one of our big what's wrong with y'all's today.
It got a little aggressive.
Yeah, I'm just because that's part of the podcast we talked about before, which was what's wrong with y'all, what's wrong with us.
Yes.
Because we all have issues, and there's something wrong with all of us. Because look at the state of the world around us right now.
Right.
There's something wrong with all of us, and we're just not figuring out how to get past this shit, which leads us to what happened. We talked about before. Did we talk about the what's wrong with y'all, the dude that got electrocuted here in LA?
We talked about that last week.
It's a shame that every week we have some bullshit happening with police that we can talk about.
Right.
I mean, how crazy is that? Every week we have something about police that we can talk about. You know, did we mention the one where the woman got punched in the face?
Yes.
By the cops? Now, the video finally came out last night about Tyree.
Tyree, yep.
You know, and
Tyree Nichols.
you got 5 brothers who wear that blue and that silver star on their chest, and they beat this dude to death. Now, here's the crazy part. They didn't even have justification to pull him over, and he's 80 yards from his house. You know,
which is why he tried to run home.
Tried to run home because he knows. I mean,
he knew that was it.
That was exactly. He's yelling for his mom as they're beating him, and then once they beat him and he slumped over, they're all standing there laughing and giggling about how one guy threw a haymaker, and the paramedics are there, 2 of them, and they're not even helping him. They're just standing there talking with the cops. And then there was a poll. I was watching CNN this morning before we worked out. There was a poll that they came out and was like, should this be second-degree murder? Because second-degree murder means they did what they did with the intent to kill. You fucking right, it was murder.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It was murder.
Right.
And the only reason why it's not first-degree murder because it's not
just
premeditated.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't plan on looking for this guy going to murder. But second-degree, hell yeah, this ain't just involuntary manslaughter. They meant to kill this dude. I don't care what they say. Oh, I hit him hard but didn't expect to. No, you beat him with a billy club.
But the moment you kick somebody in the head, that's it. Because they kicked him in the head
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
I mean, you saw the punches they were throwing at this dude.
Oh yeah, let me get a running start.
As we hold his arms back. And then as they're holding his arms, they're telling him for the body camera footage, put your hands behind your back, as they're holding his hands, so they can justify trying to say that he was resisting. No, get the fuck out of here. You know, I mean, that's just, it's so annoying that cops are allowed to do what they do. And I was having this discussion with friends last night, and we were talking about cops should have a minimal education. They should have a college degree. They should be expected
Just like the FBI.
They should be expected to have a college degree. They should have a criminal justice degree, something. Because you get these people that a lot of times come out of the military may not be, they're not socialized well enough is what I think, you know. And they get this badge. I knew people in high school that I'm like, God, I hope that dude never becomes a cop. Or better yet, damn, you became a cop?
Knew a few of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of them will go to the military, come back, and they lose that discipline. They're disciplined in the military, but then they come back home to the streets, and it's a different ballgame. Mm-hmm. And it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. You get black and white cops, it's all a blue thing.
Because militaries do or die.
Yeah, but you come here, and you get into the police, and people are like, oh, well, white cops beat up black people. All cops beat up black people. You know, cops like the power, and not all. I'm not trying to say all cops, but there's enough bad ones out there that they're making life hell for a lot of people.
And power makes up for the income.
Yes.
Power makes up for the income. So somehow, some way, this allows them justification to
Right,
do
and it's just
whatever.
it's what are we doing here, man? And when you have people that are sending me texts saying,
I know, I saw that. You showed me.
God, as one of my black friends, I hope just be safe. I mean, when people are worried about me of all people, I'm not in the streets, but me of all people,
Neither am I,
but I drive to work every day. I'm in the streets.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's a sad situation that we have to talk about this being black in America on a daily basis.
I mean, I told you about my transition when I leave here. If we do like a Monday night or something, how I get home, I will refuse to drive the streetway.
Right, because you refuse to go through a certain neighborhood.
Right, and we know what city that is.
Right, you refuse to go through a certain city because there's a high likelihood of getting pulled over regardless.
Yeah, because it is technically a sundown. Mm-hmm. They don't say it, but it is a sundown town, and they do exist.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
We leave. That's why it's got to be one of the reasons why we die of heart attacks, black men. Because you leave with a level of just
what we eat and all of that.
There's a level of anxiousness that exists.
There's a level of stress that we deal with on a regular basis that most of the world doesn't have to.
Yeah. Listen, Warren Buffett, what is he, 102?
Like 360?
He eats McDonald's every single
and
day.
he's chilling.
Drinks Cokes. And he reads. He only takes a certain amount of calls.
Yeah, he's
chilling. He is chilling. He's living that long because he doesn't have the level of stress.
Stress is the number one killer.
Number one, my friend.
It drops your immune system.
The body will always keep count.
Yeah, right.
The body will always keep count.
And this is going to lead us to our conversation today. We're going to talk about man law. And first of all, every dude out there has seen the Super Bowl commercials from 2007?
Yeah.
Remember that were running about man law, and every commercial they've come up with a different man law. And there's some funny ones. There's some funny man laws out there, but they're laws nonetheless. But I'm going to start with, since we're on this heavy topic, man law. As a black man in society, when you get pulled over by the cops, put your hands out the window. That's just a law. Don't put your hands on the steering wheel. Put your hands out the window. That's just a law. That's man law. That's black man law, right? Keep your mouth shut. Yes, sir. No, sir. Put your hands out the window. It'll save your life. They say get out the car. Get out the car. Comply. It'll save your life because they're looking for a reason for you to get. You don't even have to resist. It's just the perception of resistance. So, man law number one, just comply. Here's an interesting man law that some dudes don't quite get. Never, ever, ever. Man law number one. If your boy has dated a woman, she's off limits forever.
Yes.
It's that simple.
So, okay, when we came up with this topic, that was the very first one that I thought about. I couldn't think for a while past that. Dude. I was just like, oh, man.
It's man law.
Yeah.
You just don't. And here's the funny thing. Most men abide by that.
Most men.
If you really think about it. But here's the thing. I know women who their girlfriend, their sister will date the same dude at different times. No woman gets passed between the same different dudes that are tight. I may know a dude that you dated, but you weren't my boy. Right. You weren't my brother. That's just I don't care if you dated him 50 years ago. Once you dated him, you're off limits.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. And it's just one of those things where people are like, well, why not? It was so long ago. I've had friends from college and from med school whose girlfriends were whose exes have over the years come at me. And I'm just like, you dated my boy. It'll
I'm good.
never happen. Nah,
Nah, I'm good.
It'll never happen. Remember, will never happen. And here's another thing. If you dated a dude, this is just one of my laws, man law. If you dated a dude I don't respect, I can't date you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and if I know you, if I know this dude and I don't respect him, and you used to date him, I can't date you.
And you were with him.
Like that's like your boo. I can't. There's nothing I can do for you because now you're putting me in the same category as him. Can't do it.
How about talk about respect? I can't respect a man that doesn't respect himself.
100%.
I cannot give him that same. I can't give him the courtesy if he doesn't respect himself
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Here's a funny man law. Man law number 2. We all get dry lips, chapped lips.
Especially black man.
Don't you ever
Share.
put lip balm on your lips with people sitting there looking at you. Lip balm should be placed on your lips in the privacy of your own home, car, whatever it may be. Don't be whipping it out like you're putting on lipstick. Man law number 2. It's just, man, hook that shit up and keep it moving.
Hey, I'm going to keep this one simple.
Yes.
Don't share cups.
Don't share cups at all. Don't share straws.
Don't share straws. No. No.
So you're saying me and you can't have one cocktail with 2 straws in it?
No. I quit.
Oh, man. Man law number 3. Stay clean. Hygiene is a must. You expect the woman in your life to take care of herself. You need to take care of yours. Don't be like, since I'm a man, I don't ever have to use lotion. I don't need to use deodorant. Wash your balls. You know what I mean? It's keep yourself clean, manscape, be what you want her to be. You know? That's man law. Right?
Yeah.
But I think men feel like they can get away with shit because they don't have to. They feel like it's expected for me to be a little grungy, a little funky, a little
No.
It's oh, you just smell like a man. No, that's that bullshit. No.
Man, tell you a funny story. So when I'm a trainer, I always got on sweat shoes, training shoes, whatever. But I always take my shoes off and put my flip-flops on. And so this after a while, Kenyatta says, your feet don't stink. And I'm like, I know. I let my feet breathe after I'm done working out. I let my feet breathe every time I'm done with the shoes wherever I go. I take my sliders, put them on so my feet can breathe. She's like, oh, my God.
Men out there, I'm going to give you a little trick, too. You keep your shoes in your closet. You have sweat in your feet.
Yes.
Keep your shoes in your closet.
And what happens with
dark
sweat?
And damp, it stinks.
And what is that?
Is fucking
bacteria.
Yeah, so I keep cans of Lysol in my closet. When I take my shoes off, I spray the inside of my shoe. Why do you think they do that shit at the bowling alley? Same reason. My shoes never stink because of that. It's just a little trick. Just make it happen. Here's a man law or it should be a law for all you dads out there that got daughters. When your daughters are growing up and they're little, as they're aging, do everything for them that you think a boy would do for them to impress them, so that way when a boy does it, they're not impressed. Buy your daughter flowers. Take her to nice dinners. Do all of those things for your kid.
Treat her as a young adult.
Do all of those things for your kid, so that way it's old news to her when some dude comes to try to impress her. That's man law for you dads out there who have daughters. You dads out there who have sons, man law, be a man. Because your son is going to see it. You can't tell him to be a man if you're not living the life of a man yourself.
Right.
You know?
And that comes right back to respect.
Absolutely. Everything about you has to scream, I'm a man, if that's what you want your son to be. We're on like man law number 50.
I was wondering, why is he giving these numbers?
Yeah.
Because they just go. And by the way, a lot of these are what we come across all the time, but a lot of these are just like off the dome as we're thinking.
Yeah.
Like there should be's.
Yes. Never, ever, 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 ever put your hands on a woman.
Oh my God.
We talked about that earlier today.
Bruh.
Never, ever, 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 ever put your hands on a woman unless your life depends on you fighting her off. But if you can escape, escape. Never, ever, ever there's never a reason for you to put your hands on a woman.
The moment you throw a blow, you need to go.
The
moment you have to pull,
I gotta grab, threaten, shake, whatever. You should never put your hands on a woman uninvited.
Until she says, "Put your hands on me,
Put your hands
Daddy.
on me, choke me, daddy." That's different.
Way different.
Some people like it rough, but it's invited.
Right.
If it's not invited, do not put your hands on a woman. That should be man law number 1. Mm-hmm. Don't ever put your hands on a woman for any reason. Now, putting your hands on another dude, that happens sometimes.
Right.
You just sometimes you have to. Here's a question for you. What if you're
already laughing? Gotta be nervous.
Me and my brother talk about this. So, what if you and your wife are out?
Okay.
And some dude walks by and smacks your wife on the ass? What do you do?
Whew.
Do you just chalk it up as, babe, you got your ass smacked, let's just keep it moving?
Oh, no. I said, bro.
Why?
That's my woman.
Okay. So, he walks by. Hold on.
If it's my wife?
Yes, hold on. Feel me out here. He smacked her ass and kept moving. What did you lose except the way she looks at you if you do nothing?
You lost a sense of respect.
If you go fight him and he whoops your ass, you've now
create a different level of disrespect.
Not only that.
Do you?
Yes. But that's not what I'm talking about. What if you hit him? He falls, hits his head, dies. You now go to jail because somebody slapped your woman on the butt. Because it's not self-defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what happens is your pride, your ego, and your anger take over for logic. Yeah. Me and my brother were talking about this the other day. He's like, if somebody's not actively coming at your wife, or it's one of those things. Like he walked up and slapped her in the face or punched her. Then you know what, man? Damn, why you got to do that? Because now it's on. Mm-hmm. But if it was and if she doesn't say something to him, if somebody touched your wife on the butt and she doesn't say something, she's looking at you. You should say something. He touched your butt. Say something. I got you. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Okay. I can see that.
Because otherwise,
I can see that. Yeah.
Like we talk about Kevin Hart. He's like, imagine, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Imagine The Rock comes up and slaps your woman.
Yeah.
He's like, babe, I mean, what'd you say to him? What reason did you give him to get slapped? Hey, no needing both of us being slapped. You just got slapped, so one of us got to drive home. But it's one of those things where, what do you do in that situation? If somebody is actively disrespecting, here's another thing. As men, we're very prideful. We don't like to be disrespected.
Right.
If you're by yourself and some dude's popping off at the mouth, do you walk away?
If I'm by myself and the guy's popping off at the mouth, yeah. I'm not thinking about that.
What if your wife is standing next to you and some dude is popping off at the mouth? Do you walk away?
Yeah.
Exactly, right? But think about this. Think about how many people.
But see, the thing is, my wife knows I'm crazy.
Right.
She's like, she's starting.
Maybe I'm asking the wrong.
She's like, he's starting to laugh. He's starting to laugh and cry at the same time.
Right.
Like, he's crazy. He gonna eat.
Right, but the thing is, and the reason why I'm asking these questions is because our pride sometimes clouds logic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who've been beat up and shot because pride wouldn't let them walk away. And I think a proud man is going to do what he does and try to protect his family and all this. But a smart man will remove his family from danger.
Right.
Instead of trying to, and that's how he protects. Honey, let's go. Because you never know if the next person's crazier than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where I think the older I've gotten, the less hot-headed I'd become.
Yeah. What's the movie? Loser? Is it Loser? The guy that played Better Call Saul? Any case, his character, he's a mild-mannered guy. He takes the bus to work, so on and so forth. One evening, family gets robbed. He runs downstairs. He has his bat. But he looks, and he's like, he ends up putting the bat down. Next thing you know, his son comes down. He tries to tackle the guy. Guy hits his son in the head. Long story short, you realize as he's having this conversation with his brother, it's the RZA, and they're talking back and forth. Mm-hmm. He said, yeah, he had a 38 slug, but there were no bullets in it. Mind you, it's nighttime. How can you see from a distance if there are bullets in the gun? So you find out that he's ex-military. He was the guy that you called to clean up the mess of other people. Dude, it was an amazing movie, but he was just mild-mannered, just kind of like, whatever, life, it sucks. And,
right.
But, once it was brought out in him, he just went over and just went out of control. But you realize how much of a badass he really was. Any case, long story short, bottom line is you never know who and what and how crazy certain people are.
Yep.
I was going to say a man code, the nod.
Yes.
The nod.
A nod up means I know you.
Yeah.
A nod down means I'm just saying hello. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Now, from what I understand, the nod down, older men, because they wore fedoras, respect, especially black men, because they couldn't speak.
But they don't know the person.
They don't know, and they speak without speaking. The young guys, because they wore the baseball caps, nod up.
Yep.
So they can acknowledge each other, like, "What's up, yo?"
So this happened to me the other day, and this person didn't know.
Especially, was he your brother?
No.
Okay.
Never, ever, 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 ever try to have a conversation with a man when he's standing at the urinal.
No.
And if you're in the bathroom with multiple urinals, if there's open ones, don't go to the one next to me. Skip a urinal. That's just man law. You don't stand side by side if there's a row that's empty. You don't. Right?
Wait a minute. I gotta put this. Y'all gotta see this on camera.
He's standing up. Hey, Kenneth. Kenneth, let me ask you a question. So, how was your day? Man, don't you see me peeing? Right? But the thing is,
you gotta squeeze that pee.
Yeah.
But and then move to the urinal.
But here's the funny thing. I'm at the hospital, man, I'm taking a piss, and another surgeon comes and stands behind me and wants to get my opinion on a case he's about to do. And I'm sitting there like, man, bruh. I mean, first of all, you're standing like 2 feet behind me. Can you back that shit up first? Let me finish and shake it off and wash my hands before you. Dude, you can wait 2 seconds. I'm not going anywhere. I got to walk to the sink. You can talk to me at the sink. Don't stand there behind me while I'm trying to pee and asking me my thoughts on a case. It's like motherfuckers don't have boundaries, man. Man law. Don't talk to another man at the urinal.
Right.
It's that simple.
Right. I mean, we don't talk when we get on the elevator.
No.
So don't talk to me at the urinal.
It's
These
just,
are private, encased moments, and we don't
I'm
want
trying
to
to
be
do
bothered.
my thing. Can
Right.
I just handle?
I want to focus.
I don't need to feel your breath on the back of my neck when I'm trying to pee. You know?
And you don't know this, but it's it's like when your wife wants to talk to you while you're sitting on the toilet. It's like, dude,
Lock the door.
quiet, please. Quiet on set.
I know women out there love to talk. And we're willing to listen to you at any point in time. But can we have just that moment? Can we get that moment? I just need a few moments to myself in the bathroom with the door locked. Can we have that? You know? It's like, for real, right? Man, but I think people don't understand that, you know, because nobody talks about these things. You know, people just kind of stay away from these topics.
But that's also how, as men, we operate. We operate in this space of acknowledgement without words. It's this space of knowing without having to say. A perfect example, my ex-wife and I, so when her stepfather was passing away, he was very, very sick. And I trained in the country club. So what happened was I used to, and she does not know this to this day. She was always upset, like I didn't spend much time with him. She doesn't know I went over there like every other day. And I just sit with them. We had shit to talk about. But we just like, we were like, what's the cartoon? Where they're standing on the corner and just drinking beer, go, yep. Yep.
Is that Family Guy?
No, that's not Family Guy.
I know.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah. And you're like,
yes.
yep. But you know what? He and I were good. He knew that it didn't have to be this exchange and this sharing. We were sharing in moments of just thought and presence, and in a manner of respect versus, well, I respect you because da 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 da, or you need to respect me for this and that. I don't have to explain anything to you. You don't have to explain anything. We cool.
Yes.
Like the father on Wonder Years, the brother, when they researched the whole show, he says every time somebody get, hey, be cool. That's all it is, man. Sometimes we just being present, be cool.
Here's another man law that I think a lot of people don't understand.
Okay.
I meet you in Kenyatta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with Kenyatta. I'm just meeting you.
Right.
I walk up, man law, you speak to the man first, even though she's your friend.
Correct.
It's that simple.
Correct. We talk about that one all the time.
Yes. It's
Because
a sign of respect.
Yeah. Because you're the single guy.
Exactly. And even if I'm with a woman and I walk up to you with your woman, I speak to you first. She speaks to her first. That's just, and if like I have plenty of very close friends of mine who are married. Mm-hmm. When I see them, they give me a hug. It's all good. When I see them with their spouses, I go shake his hand, and then I wait for her to engage me. I won't just, hey, girl, give me a hug. No. I wait for her to engage me. If she comes to me and hugs me in front of him, different than me going to her for a hug.
I think also
that's man law. You just don't do that shit.
I was going to say that's man law across the board because
Yes.
that's not just as a single man married couple.
No, that's just across the board.
Men, you be
You
married
acknowledge
couples. You acknowledge the man.
dude.
Yeah.
That's just plain and simple out of respect, man to man. I'm coming to you first.
Unless y'all family, yeah,
I'm coming to you first.
that's right.
It's that simple. And it's funny, even when my brother and his wife are around, I'll make jokes and I'll go and I'll hug her and be like, I'm hugging her, but I'll acknowledge, come here, girl, I'm hugging you first because you're prettier than him. Like that.
Right.
But acknowledging him,
Yes.
my friends who live across the street, same thing. I acknowledge her, but I'm like, I'll always say, I'm going to hug the pretty girl first, and then they'll, whatever. But it's still acknowledging the dude first, because man to man, that's just how that shit is. And
real talk.
the funny thing is, it's a known woman law too. You engage the woman first, because it puts it lets down her guard just enough, so she's not threatened by you. But
so she don't pull that.
But
switchblade.
But here's the funny thing: most men don't realize they're being disrespected when a man doesn't engage him first, because they're so just not paying attention,
not wanting to be present.
Exactly. A man who's present will automatically know that that's disrespectful. And if his wife or his girl doesn't check the dude and be like, hey, this is my husband, as soon as he's coming in, oh, my husband. Yeah. If she doesn't do that first, then it's like she's not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's so funny? Years and years and years, even as a trainer, as I walk into different people's homes, I do it instinctively. Like I said, or if I come into the house, the wife opens the door, I say, oh, is your husband home? But I say it loud enough.
Yes.
They're like, oh, and they're like, oh, no, he went off to work, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. Is he doing good? Blah, blah. I'm acknowledging him before I'm acknowledging our space.
100%, because that's just, you're in his house.
Yes.
I don't care who's paying for it. You're in his house.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the king of that castle.
You're there together, but he's a part of it. So
exactly. And it's something, it's a big thing that people forget.
Yeah.
And over time, what it becomes perceived as disrespect. And if it keeps piling up, you're gonna wonder why your dude doesn't like your friends. And it goes back to the whole men and women, can they be friends thing. Well, if your man is being disrespected by your friend constantly, he's gonna be like, nah, you can't have friends, because he's gonna feel like all your friends disrespect him. You know what I mean?
Either that, or he's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to be around them. And I'm not going. Oh, you going? No, I'm not going. I'm good. I don't need to see them.
No, and the thing is, he may never say to him, because he'll never tell his girl, he's disrespecting me. It's just you feel it, and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's just the way that it is. We could go on for days about man laws. There's just and things. There's just certain things that pertain to men that just women don't have to worry about.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the things I looked up is one book. It's like talks about men's code of honors.
Okay.
And it has like 66 or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book, so I don't have any insight on the book.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about the book. But in any case, just looking up things. And
right. And there are things that we as men, there are codes that we follow. It's just like we said, we call it man code, man law, because it's unique to us.
Yes.
And women will never understand it because they're not us.
Yes.
And it's just it's a way of life.
Yeah.
It really is. This is kind of started out heavy, got a little fun. I got one more for you. Dudes, when you're out, either at a cocktail party, if you're out at a club, those of you who still go clubbing, if you're at a lounge or whatever, if you got a cocktail in your hand, don't be sipping out of a straw. I'm just going to tell you that now. There's nothing manly about you sipping out of a straw. Hold on. You got an old fashioned in your hand, and you got a stir that you're using as a straw. Sipping out of a straw, no.
No. Ever.
And what most of you guys don't know, how you hold your glass speaks volumes. If your dude standing around like this, holding your glass at a function, versus a dude who stands around at a function with his hands down and his chest out and open, confident versus not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never even thought about that.
You're holding your glass down like this. You're open.
Yeah.
You're open to approach. You're open to talk to people.
Yeah.
You're engaging. Shoulders back.
And you're not going to lose your drink.
Right. Now, you're standing there like this
You wait for
you're
somebody
now
to bump into
you're
you.
now closed off. Your drink is in here. You know? So either put it down
Right.
or hold it down like this and have that conversation. I'm engaging, and then you just pull it up and you sip, and then you put it back down. Boom. Just a thought.
Never even thought about that.
But you look at the posture.
Yes.
And here's the funny thing.
Posture's everything.
Women notice the posture.
Yes.
So when you look at a poll of things that women notice first, they notice your posture and your level of confidence. Man law. You want your chest to stick out? Stick your chest out.
Yeah.
And as Coach would always tell you, work on your posterior chain because it'll make your chest look bigger.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And if you stand and walk with confidence, it's not your watch, it's not your shoes, it's not your wallet, it's your swag.
Stand as though you believe in yourself.
Walk into a room like you belong, and you walk into a room like you own the building.
Yes.
You know? And it's funny because no matter where you are, and I take this quote from Barry Sanders back in the day and why he never did end zone dances. He used to go hand the football off and run off. Barry Sanders, you said it best. He's like, act like you've been there before. Why are you celebrating if you've been there before? Right. So you walk into a room, even though you're someplace, I'm getting on a private jet or I'm getting on a yacht, and you're sitting courtside at a basketball game and taking all these videos. Why? Everybody understands that you probably because you've never been there before.
Right.
If this is second nature for you, you're not doing all that. So
It's like being in New York, getting on the subway and pulling out a map.
or walking through New York, looking up like this.
Right.
You know,
The buildings are tall. Duh.
Right, but the thing is, even if you've never been there before, act like you have, because that takes a level of confidence that everybody notices. And as a man law number 1, if you want to be successful as a man, self-confidence, self-respect will basically command respect from others.
Right.
Plain and simple. Man, good topic, man. I enjoyed this one fully. You know, it was heavy in the beginning
Because you had to say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. You know, and we are gonna put this out this week. Why? Because I think it's important. I think what we talked about in the beginning is important.
Yeah.
Just, you know, being a man, we always talk about it because that's what we are. We talk about the laws of being a man and how to engage in life going forward.
As a man.
As a man. Coach KJ, man, where they gonna find you?
At Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com. Oh, excuse me, gotta get it together. And you're also going to find podcast SOE.com. Everything SOE podcast, Sippin on Excellence. Where they going to find you,
You're
Doc?
going to find me at Lionel Hunt on Instagram. You're going to find me at huntspine.com and also thehuntfoundation.org. Tune in every Saturday, you guys. We're going live on IG at 11:30.
We out!